that permits us to be able to visually contact the environment in which we are part, where we can break down the light configurations and translate them into certain kinds of forms and images that gives us the whole concept of vision. We have a vibratory system inside our spaceship that lets us, a spacesuit that permits us to hear the vibrations called sound and be able to put them together in certain kinds of patterns to let us begin to understand the whole process of what sound and audition is all about. These are characteristics of the spacesuit. But we are simply using the spacesuit as spirits, as spiritual entities on this planet. Now, two things about this. Africans never forgot that. I don't care if they were Muslims, whether they were Yoruba, whether they were traditional African religious practitioners, whether they were Christians, whether they were Jehovah's Witness, whether they were Catholic, didn't matter. A part of the African culture kept alive the notion that we are spirit. So no child was born unless that child had four experiences. The child was recognized as an individual entity. So it had a name. But it wasn't given a name until the whole community came together. And they had a naming ritual. And in the naming ritual, the child went from arm to arm, and every adult in the community claimed parenthood. You became Baba, you became Mama. Every adult in the community became part parent. So the child was taught, even at the time of 8 days old, you don't belong to just a mother, just a father. You belong to the community. Then that same child was given a name. And the name not only identified them separately, it connected them with the ancestors. So the idea is, what ancestor has sent you? What ancestor is present in you? And you are a direct connection with an ancestor that constitutes this community, that has found a new expression in you. So every name reminded that child that that child was in fact connected with an ancestral continuity. And then the other piece of the naming ceremony was to remind that child that child was a gift from God, that it was a spirit, that it had only come temporarily again. It would be here for a while, and it would in fact leave, and it would continue to come because it was spirit. So that understanding was a key piece. So the idea that the same thing happened when you were initiated into adulthood. Boys became men by being reminded that their responsibility was not to be able to be the studs of the community that now be sperm donors and therefore drop seeds and go on and leave them, but they were to become the fathers that were in fact the continuation of a certain spiritual entity that was both tribal as well as social, that they somehow could understand how they carried on that responsibility and didn't confuse what their penises were able to do with what their spirits were supposed to do. How women did not define their womanhood by being able to get pregnant and be able to take their baby, talk about that's my baby's daddy there, and be able to push their baby around the mall